This is Minsu from Super Team Body Force Unite, and I'm here with...
Dylan George.
Okay, and what did you do today?
We had our UDS today, and I got top 8, and I was playing Cyber Dragons.
Perfect. How are the matchups today?
The matchups were okay. I had 2 Thunder Dragon players, 1 True Draco player, 1 Sky Striker. Actually, now that I think of it, oh yeah, and then I played against zombies of all things.
Oh, okay.
That was actually like the hardest matchup.
Okay, perfect. And let's get to the deck list then.
Yep. Okay. So basic Cyber Dragon lineup: 3 Cyber Dragon, 3 core, and 3 Hertz. Definitely wouldn't change this. They're all 3 ofs and definitely staples in the deck.
Okay.
For hand traps, I only ran 6. I ran 3 Ash and 3 Droll. Really good today. I actually found myself taking out one of the Ashes most of the times I would side, because Droll just came in so clutch today, but Ash it didn't seem like it did anything.
Would you change the hand trap ratio at any?
I think I'd keep it the same. Even though Ash didn't really do anything today, I still feel that it is the most versatile hand trap that we have, so definitely going to leave it how it is.
Makes sense.
Ran 3 Galaxy Soldier. This card's nuts. If you combine it with Cyber Dragon Hertz, it's pretty much a 1-card infinity.
Okay.
Because Galaxy Soldier searches itself, and then Hertz adds another Cyber Dragon, so you're giving yourself another Galaxy Soldier and fodder for the next one.
Perfect. How many times did you do that combo?
Pretty much every single duel. All you need really is like core and either Galaxy Soldier or Hertz, and you can pretty much do it, and this deck's just really consistent in getting these cards.
Yep. And did you win every time?
I did not win every time. I went X1 today. I lost my last round against Sky Strikers.
Yeah.
Most games won the game 3.
Makes sense.
For my 1-ofs of the monsters, I ran 1 Eltonin. This card is amazing. The way that it works is that you banish all your light machine type monsters from your field and graveyard. Its attack becomes that amount times 500, so you can easily get this thing up to 5k. And then when it's special summoned, you can activate the effect, and it sends all face-up monsters on the field to the grave. Really good, because when you play this against Thunder Dragons, you literally only need 1 machine type monster either on your field or in your graveyard, and you just clear out all their Thunder Dragons, because it sends and it doesn't destroy, which means they're not able to protect.
How many times did you make it?
I made Eltonin, I'd say, a pretty good amount of times. Normally I would make it when I'm going for the OTK, because I have other cards in the deck that combine really well with it.
Oh, perfect.
I also ran 1 Veer. Veer was a card that I would use if I didn't open up Galaxy Soldier or Hertz. The way that works is that when you special summon a Cyber Dragon monster, then you can special summon this card from your hand in defense mode, and it also gives all your Cyber Dragons plus 500 attack and defense. I'll do that. So yeah, it was really good. Mainly you use it to increase all your monsters' attacks. But other than that, I actually didn't use it very much. I ended up siding it out for things that would help in the matchup more. And then I ran 1 Jizukuru. Really, really fun card to use, because you would just kaiju the problem card that your opponent had, summon a Cyber Dragon, and then you could send the Jizukuru on their field away for a Fortress Dragon. Really funny, just basically you get rid of a problem monster and then you get a 2k beater.
Did you ever think about bumping like any of the adding like more kaijus or something like that?
I've thought about it. If I do in the future, it would definitely have to be in the side. I feel 1 is good because I can search it with Repair Plan. But I do think that it's really good, and I might end up using more, especially in the Sky Striker matchup, because it's just really good. Just kaiju their thing, and they can't use any of their spells.
Okay, perfect.
That's it for monsters. Now to the spells. Ran 3 Cyber Emergency.
Emergence.
Yep, Emergence, really good. Searches a light machine type monster that can't be normal summoner set, or just any Cyber Dragon monster. It also has a negate effect, where if its activation is negated, you can discard a card, add this back to your hand, and then you can actually use it again, because it says you can only activate one of them per turn, so it's sort of a loophole. Although I never got to really use that effect, because people just Ash it, and Ash doesn't negate activation, so that was okay. The best spell card in my deck, Triple Machine Duplication. I'm pretty sure I opened up Core and Machine Duplication almost every single game, and it won me every single game. Definitely really good in your opening hand. If you end up top decking it later on, you're pretty much screwed. I ran 2 Cyber Repair Plant. This card's really good, although it's like a really hard once per turn, and you need to have Cyber Dragons in your grave to use it, so I only ran 2.
Okay.
It's really good because it helps. It can search out your Galaxy Soldier and your Kaiju, so pretty much depending on what you need at that time. So if I open up the Hertz and then a Core, I'll just go Core, add Repair Plant, and then I'll use Repair Plant to get the Soldier, and I just go off from there. And then some one-ofs. I ran 1 Cyber Rev System. This card is busted. It's basically just a monster reborn that makes it so that your Cyber Dragon cannot be destroyed by card effects. Never really kept any monsters on the field long enough for them to be destroyed by card effects, because I mainly just use them to link off or something like that. And then lastly, Cyberload Fusion. This card, combined with Eltonin, is just nuts. You banish off all your Light Machine type monsters with Eltonin, and then you use Cyberload, and Cyberload fuses from your face-up banish pile. So if you banish off like 10 monsters, you go into Cyberload and you make something like Overdragon, you've got an 8,000 beater. The best part is that this card is a quick play, so I find myself very often making Eltonin, clearing out my opponent's monsters, going into battle phase, attacking with Eltonin, and then activating Cyberload while in the battle phase to attack for another 8,000.
And how much did that come up today?
It came out once or twice. It's definitely come up a lot more in testing, but definitely I'm not taking either of these out. This is probably the most like clutch combo in the deck, especially during the late game. So that's it. Oh wait, I actually have just a bunch of like one-of staples now. I've got Foolish Burial. I actually found myself siding this out a lot. Normally you do it for shenanigans with Cyber Dragon Core, where you'll start off your turn, activate Foolish Burial, send Hertz, and then add a Cyber Dragon so you can do some shenanigans with that. Never really I don't think I actually ever saw Foolish today, and I pretty much sided it out every single time. Also had Overload Fusion, also works really well with Cyberload. It's just another way to get my fusion monsters out. And then lastly, a Monster Reborn, just so that I have more monsters on the field, because Cyber Dragons in the end is pretty much an OTK deck, so I want to make sure I OTK. Then lastly for traps, I run triple evenly matched, double impermanence, and 1 cybernetic overflow. This ratio is really good. I actually thought about changing impermanence to 3 and evenly matched to 2, but I realized that if I'm going to see evenly matched, I want to see it first turn. So this is definitely a good ratio. You only run 1 of these because you only play it when you're going first, and you don't really want to see more than 1 because you're banishing all of your Cyber Dragons pretty much. Yeah, I really like this ratio, and yeah, most of the deck was pretty good.
Perfect. Is there anything you think about changing for your main deck?
Definitely, probably going to take out the Foolish. It just never came up, and I felt like anytime I have used it in playtesting and stuff like that, there's always better things I could do. We'll go to the extra deck. Starting off with the Link monsters, Link Karibo, just to go into Hertz, because then when you send Hertz to the grave, add a Cyber Dragon, stuff like that. 1 Seeger, you only need 1. You pretty much make it, and then you can use Rev System to revive it and stuff like that. 1 Cleavor Genius, that's if you already used your Seeger and you just need any other Link 2. Never actually went into this today, but I will still keep it in here just because I feel like it's a really good card. Then 1 Summon Sorceress, this card's nutty, especially when you do your full combo that ends off in a broken board. And lastly, I run Griffin. Griffin, surprisingly, was hit or miss today, because I played against Thunder Dragons, which it ended up doing some stuff with it, but it didn't stop any of their discard effects. But it does really good against some other decks, although I played against True Draco, so this card was pretty much useless.
Would you be able to show off the board you were talking about?
Oh, sure. I'll go through the rest of the extra deck first. Just quickly, I ran 1 Pleiades. Never played it. I had the opportunity to, but I just realized there's better cards to go into. This is just spot removal, but most of the times it never really came up and I didn't really need it. Then you run 2 Nova, 2 Infinity. These cards, I only run them at 2 because you only ever really make 1 in your combo, but 2 is always nice. I never found myself needing more than that. That's it for the XYZ monsters. And then lastly, for the fusions, 2 Mega Fleets. Obvious, everybody special summons now, or everybody summons from the extra deck now, so this card's really good. 1 Rampage Dragon. I normally use this card with Overload. It's busted when I'm going up against stuff like True Draco and stuff like that. And then it can also attack 3 times. And then when I combine it with Seeger, it's a 4200 beat stick that can attack 3 times. So it's really good. Then Fortress Dragon. Really good, especially in the Sky Striker matchup, because if they have Shizuku or something, I can use their Shizuku to make this if I run out of Mega Fleets. And then lastly is Overdragon. This card is the card that I normally go into when I have Cyberload, especially if I banish off a bunch of cards with Eltonin. So if I banish 10 and then Cyberload into this, that's 8,000. And even if they have monsters, this card can attack monsters equal to the amount of cards they sent. So it basically has 10 attacks towards monsters, but most of the time, Eltonin clears out the board and this is just an 8k beat stick. I'm actually thinking about getting rid of the Overdragon though, just because I did have times where I wanted to use Eltonin spot removal just to get rid of the monsters on his field, but I didn't have enough to make this worthwhile, where I would end up summoning an Overdragon with only 1600 attacks, so it was pretty much useless. So the board that you really want to end on is you end off with a Seeger here, a Griffin, and an Infinity on the top.
Okay.
You can pretty much make this board if you open up a Core, a Machine Dupe, and then either Galaxy Soldier or Hertz.
Perfect.
You can also, instead of opening Galaxy Soldier or Hertz, I guess you could open up 1 Cyber Dragon, but that's only if you're going second.
Okay.
Lastly, for the side deck, I ran 3 Twin Twisters. This card actually helped out a lot today, especially against Sky Striker and True Draco. It pretty much won me the game against the zombie player because Zombie World just stops my deck. It just destroys it, so Twin Twisters, really good for getting rid of that. 3 Book of Eclipse for the Thunder Dragon matchup. I actually didn't use this card as much as I thought I was going to. Even when I played against Thunder Dragon players and I had this card, it just never really came up in the way that I thought it would. So that's the spells in the side deck. Then for the monsters, I only ran 5. I ran 3 Inspector Border and 2 Pankratops. Inspector Border pretty much won me one of the Thunder Dragon matchups because I just chose to go first, normaled an Inspector Border and passed, and they just couldn't do anything. And Pankratops, I sided it in a couple times, but I never saw it, and I still believe that it's really good spot removal because I can just summon it, pop it, whatever. Gets rid of pretty much every card on the field. Then, lastly for traps, I ran 2 Red Reboot for True Draco and Altergeist, but I didn't play against any Altergeist today, and then 2 Goes in Match. 2 Goes in Match was a last-minute decision for me. I originally had Rivalry of Warlords in here, but I realized with Thunder Dragons being so prominent as of late, this card would come in a lot better than Rivalry. The one problem is, though, is that if I have Gozen on the field, I can't go into any of my fusions, which are pretty much how I get rid of most of the monsters on my opponent's board and stuff like that. So, yeah, other than that, Gozen Match did really help today, especially against Sky Strikers 2, and I think I will keep this in instead of Rivalry.
Makes sense?
Yeah. Lastly, somebody told me to do this. Prizes, got a UDS Top Cut pin.
Nice.
And got a UDS lanyard. It's purple. Really like purple if you couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell. No.
And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Perfect. Any last thoughts?
Yeah, I'll say shout out to Matt for letting me borrow the 3rd copy of Evenly Matched. I have 3, but my friend took one and he's not here today. Shout out to Markel for letting me borrow the Galaxy Soldiers. And shout out to Miko for letting me borrow the 3rd really sick Cyber Dragon.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.